Hi everybody, welcome to Creative Pouring by Cheryl. I'm Cheryl. Today I'm going to start on my fairy garden. I've got my door, I've already put chameleon powder all over it, and to save you from having to sit there and watch me, because I know this is going to be a very long video, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my tree. I've got dark sugar and black mica, and I'm going to take this dark sugar and I'm going to dust the whole tree with it. I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this real quick with what I've got left on my brush and on here. This is the plug that I'm gonna use on the inside of it, so I don't have to use so much so much resin. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a wipey, and I'm just gonna kind of wipe some of it off. Well, the wipe's not working. Well, here is it. Yeah, it is. Okay. Because I don't want it to be that, I want it to have a little bit of see-through in it. I don't want it quite so opaque. See how I've got some spots that are coming through? This area too. You can either do it like that or you can use tape. Tape works as well. You just crunch up the tape and take it off. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I just use a piece of my duct tape and I just kind of put it together and crush it up like that, and then just use it in different spots just so that it'll come off some. I don't want it like crazy to off. I just want some of it off. Okay, that works. I'm gonna clean this brush with my changer, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the black over it. I'm just gonna go over the brown with the black because I want it to have like a two-tone, almost like a two-tone feel. But I'm gonna go in with clear on this tree. Okay, let me set that aside. Let me clean up my mess and I'll be right back. All right, I've done the best that I can to clean it up right now. I'm not going to go craziness into it, but let's go ahead and flip this thing inside out. I'll make sure there's no more extra powder on it. So I just found a bunch of it. Okay. I am going to figure out a way to make this float. But I've got my resin mixed up. It's my Tex Expert Resin. I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here first. Yes, I know that I'm doing clear on the back of this tube, but I want it so that I can put a candle or a battery operated candle in there. I have this set up because it's kind of crooked. Okay, we're going to try to make this float, so I'm just going to pour it in here. I probably don't have enough for this level, but it'll be all right. It don't look like it's mixed up the best on the edges. Okay. Let's see how deep. It's not even hitting the resin yet. I'm going to mix some more up and I'll be back to finish this. All right, I've mixed up some more resin. I went ahead and just put some UV resin on here just to make it a little more easier to hold up so we can float it. Stirred this up really good. Let's go ahead and fill some more in. Let's see where this lands. Okay, and we'll fill that up. And when this is done, I will be back to you with the next step. All right, these are cured. I'm going to go ahead and take them out of their molds, just like I wanted it, nice and transparent. Now, let's go ahead and get this one. See how this turned out. That's looking pretty. Oh, look at how pretty that looks. Always turn your molds back inside out like they're supposed to be. I'll clean that up here in a little bit. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that off because it did its job. It held it up. Pull all those little pieces off the top here. Make sure that this isn't, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to try to get this out of here, which is going to be fun. I'm going to have to spray some alcohol ink down there, possibly to break the seal. I was wondering if this would come out easy. Okay, it's going to take me a little bit to get this out of here, so I'm going to have to pull it up to myself. So I will be back once this is out of here. I ended up having to put a screw down in the center here to pull it up, but that's okay. It won't bother it. It'll keep it nice and fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a nice spot on here, and that brown and black together, that made it look really neat. Let's see. We're going to use my heat gun to heat this up, make it easier to blend or to bend it. Sometimes if it's fresh resin and you heat it up, it will bend easier. See how easy that it's pliable now? Okay. I'm going to put it on here like that. I'm going to use some, I'm going to have to use some glue because my UV probably, well, it might go through this. We can try. Let's try some UV and see what happens. Worst comes to worst, I'll just have to pop it off and glue it. Be back when this is on there. I do believe I fixed that on there really good. Look how pretty that looks. It's almost like you can't see it, but you can. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if this will work or not, but I'm going to try. I've got me some fairy lights, and I'm opening them up some just to spread them out a little bit. I'm just going to leave them centered in there. And we're going to pop them in there. I'm going to turn them on. Pop them in there. Turn off some of these lights so we can see if it'll glow. Glows a little bit. Can you see the little glow? Yeah, it's hard to see. I can see it. See them glowing? Yeah. They need to be a little stronger, but I don't have anything stronger. But I'm going to do that. Then we're going to put this nice, lovely tree top on it. That is amazing for my little fairy house. Okay, I've got that part of it done. Now all I got to do is put the rest together. Okay, what I'm going to do is I will be back to you when I get my stuff together for my fairy area, and I will be back as soon as that's done. There's a very important next step I've got to show you. This is just some old this is just some sawdust that my husband did when he was cutting some boards for me one day. All I did was I poured it out. I'm going to go ahead and get some gloves on. Makes life easier. I don't want to turn my hands green or blue. I'm not a Smurf. I'm going to get a stick. Now what I did was I just poured some of these out on the table, spreading them out so that I can, not have a big pile. Take some of my blue alcohol ink, shake it up real good. And the reason why I'm going blue instead of green is because this is yellow, and blue and yellow make green. So I just drop a bunch of these all over it. And mix it up. I know it's still got a little bit of blue in it, mixed in it, but that's beautiful. So what you do with this is you let it sit overnight, let it spread out, let it sit overnight. Once it's dry, you can use it. So I'll be able to use this tomorrow. All right, I've got my stuff for my fairy container. I'm going to use a little bit of UV resin, my high gloss UV resin, around the bottom here, just to hold it to the tray. So that way it doesn't move around. Let me cure this. I'll be right back. All right, it works. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build up some rocks on around it. And we're just going to build up rock wall around it using my UV resin. Lay a little layer down. Need some on this side as well. And behind it. It's going to take a little bit to build this up. I'll fast forward it through the parts. But I just wanted you to kind of see what I'm doing. I've got that built up. I'm still working on it some more. I'm going to put some blue resin in here And I'm thinking about putting those rocks in there. Boy, I wish I could ask y'all. I think I'm just going to put some down in here at the top of it and then take all these out. Okay, let me get these out best I can, and I'll be right back to you. All right, I went ahead and just put some of those rocks up there. I'm going to take care of it better. Now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate the top of the tree. I thought about using these down in there, but something dawned on me. I need to go ahead and put part of them down in there, and part of them I'll put on top of this tree. Well, I say tree, but it's more like flowers. But that way they get a real pretty glow up here, and I think that'll be beautiful. Let me undo these a little bit. I'm going to have more than just this one light in here, I think. But it's just a matter of just working it out. I realized I can't put those other ones in until I get my resin poured on. So let's go ahead and just poke these in here all around. I'm going to clump like this. See, I'm doing it, just wrapping it around the trees or the flowers. And the rest of it, whatever doesn't work, I'll put inside I'll tuck it in. Okay, open it up a little bit. The rest of this is going to be tucked in, well, a little bit more. You want them under the petals so the wire is hidden. Okay, that should be good. I'll tuck the rest in here so it looks like there's an inside glow. And that'll slide in there too as well. Actually, I'm going to put that in the tree itself. There we go. I'll leave it on for a little bit. Okay, now here comes the fun part. I've got butterflies that I'm going to UV resin onto it. So I'm just going to get out a little container, put some UV resin in. It's easier to work with it this way. I've got a little thing here. Paint UV onto the butterfly and just put it where I want it and hit it with, if it don't fall, come on. Hit it with my UV light. Stay right where you're supposed to be. Don't fall. Try this again. Okay. Dab. On the tree. Hit the light. There we go. And once I get all these on there, I will hit it with a big UV light. I'm going to fast forward all this so you don't have to sit there and watch me. These are just some of the flowers I'm going to have sitting in here. They actually are lights. I don't know if you can see. See. I just want it to look pretty, you know, fairy type. Okay, I'm going to let that grass cure, dry, whatever. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and drop another alcohol ink in here, a blue alcohol ink in here. And I will put that on the bottom of here once I stir it up. Since I have a little bit. Let me get a bigger spoon. A bigger stick thing. Scrape it out. Oh, look at that. That's going to be pretty. Okay, I'm going to cure these up real good with the curing, with my UV light. And I will be back to you once I'm ready to do the main part. See you in a few. All right, my grass has dried. I'm going to go ahead and finish stirring this up real quick. This is my Tex Expert Resin. I got to save a little bit for the water pond and the well, because that well looks kind of, see how iffy that looks? So I'm going to put a little color in it. Finish stirring this up real quick. I didn't scrape the sides. I used my Resiner's mixer, the dual-headed mixer. So always make sure whenever you use a mixer like that, you always scrape the sides before you put it there, before you use it. Let's pour a little bit in here. That should be good. And the rest, we'll just start mixing all this up. Let me just pour a bunch in here for now. I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't make a mess. This is going to be fun getting all this in here. Yeah, but before you use grass, you need to make the grass. Before you use the shavings, you make sure they're dried out completely once you color them. Because if you don't, they'll be just a big mess. Water does not mix well with resin, as we all know. And if you're new here, resin doesn't mix with water. I forget about, sometimes I have beginners on here. But that's okay. We all have to start somewhere. What is, I saw a sign one time that said, oh, how does it go? Everyone's a beginner at one point in their life, or something along those lines. Even an expert was a beginner at one time. That's it. Even an expert was a beginner at some time in its life. Something along those lines, but it's true. Everybody had to start somewhere. Okay, I got that all mixed in. Now, as you can see, I've got these cups here. That's holding its place for these because I don't want to put these down in it because I've got their electronic stuff and I don't want it to get nasty. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring this grass in here. Let me move my squirrels now that I know where I want them. And I'll move this until I get ready to put it there. Okay, everything else should be fine. We're going to spread this all over so it looks like there's a bunch of grass on the ground. Because this is a little fairy garden. So fairies like to come out of their home and play. If I didn't mention it, I bought this tray at the Dollar Tree. It was only like $1.25. And I figured it'd be a perfect little opportunity to have a little tray because it's deep enough but not too deep, and it's got some green to it on the sides. So it's going to blend in pretty well. Okay, let's go ahead and set that down. I get out a little spatula. Scrape that off so I can have all the grass I need, hopefully. Okay, let's go ahead and spread this around. And I'm not moving these right here because that is going to be the spot where I need for it to be empty. This is going to be really pretty. I'm going to have to turn my tray. So that I can get to the back side here without moving these deals. This now I can pick up because this is going to be glued right to the tray. I should have made a little more resin, but that's okay. I just wanted a nice little layer. Okay, let's see. Come on, over here a little bit. There you go. It's time to smush this on. There. That's around it. Let me flip it back around. All right. And I'll smooth this out some. There we go. Let's hope there's no fish eyes on this tray once it's down. I'm going to take a little bit of this grass, fill this bottom hole right here a little bit. This one's going to go off the edge of there. Okay. I've got my little well. It's right here. Let's put you right there where you belong. There we go. Some of my squirrels, I want them to play. Wait, no, this guy goes up here to the, like he's going to get a drink from the, oh, shoot. He fell down. Okay. That's okay. I handled it. They're going to hide under that little thing there. No, he's going to hide over here. There we go. Okay. Now, I believe that's everything that needs to go in the area. Here, you come over a little bit farther to the corner. This will be a usable tray, so this area right here that can be used. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my grass and I'm just going to kind of put a little bit on there. I'm going to get the other green. This might look better. And just kind of sprinkle it on there. This may shrink. It may not. I don't know. But it'll give it a different color. It looks a little better. Because, you know, grass is not always the same color. All right. Let's go ahead and mix up the water for that. I've got turquoise and lake blue. And this is just pigments. Shake them up. Maybe you can see I've dropped about 6 drops in there of the lake blue. And I'm dropping, same thing with the turquoise, I'm dropping a few drops. Stir it up. All right, let's pour some in here. I'm pouring it down as if it would be a waterfall. I'm going to pour a little bit in here to make it look like a well. There we go. I have plenty left over. I'm going to go ahead and splash it over these rocks. Just so that it looks like it's got a wetness to it. Not only that, it'll hold them down better. Okay, I still have leftovers, so I will figure out what to do with those here in a little bit. I am going to go ahead and hit this with my long neck lighter. Actually, I got something better. Isopropyl alcohol. 91% isopropyl alcohol. I'm just hitting it all over with it. All right. Still not done. I've got moss. Moss that I want to put around, not there. I didn't want to drop it in there. That's okay. At least it has resin on it, so it'll stay. I feel like you always got to have a little bit of moss for the area. Put some underneath the toll bridge here. Well, maybe that's too much. There we go. Other side of the bridge. Let's see, we'll go over some in this corner here. I'll just go around all the edges. There we go. That way it won't look so stark from the tray to the grass. I might end up putting another layer on top of this, which I think I'm going to end up doing. This is just some moss I got off of, what was it? I can't remember if it was Temu. Might have been Temu. I get so much from that place. If ever I don't list something and you want to know where I got it from, please feel free to ask. I have no problem looking it up. I just don't always necessarily have the time before I post a video to look it up. And it's so easy just to type in the search bar whatever you're looking for. Once this is dry, I'll come back and give it another top coat, finish it off for you, and take it from there. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. This is looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and I've got my another set of Tex Expert Resin mixed up. I mixed about 7 ounces this time instead of 6. It's all mixed up really good. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it all over the tray in all the areas. I put a few flowers, I don't know if you've noticed, and a few of these leaves in this area. Wanted to see how that would look, and I think it looks good, so I left them. Oop, right over the squirrel's tail. Trying not to put the resin on top of the flowers. I just want it underneath them. So let me move these out of the way so they won't get resin on top of them, hopefully. Let's see, I'll put them back where they were, or at least very close to where they were. I thought about putting UV resin in it to keep them there, but I thought, why? They get a little bit on them, that so be it. There it goes. Had it in the wrong spot. Same way with you. There we go. Got a little one here under the bridge. I'm going to make a little pile of leaves over in this corner, I think. I'm going to go ahead and level it out some. Some places have a little more than others. I've got some more flowers I want to put on here. So it's going to take a minute to get it all set up, but I just want to get this taken care of. Sure, get it in the right spot. Okay, now I see that I have a little bit of clearness there. I've got some more of this grass that I'm going to mix into certain spots. And a little bit over here. That's all the grass I've got made up, so this will have to do. Trying to get it all wet. All right, got that part done. I've got some beautiful rocks that I'm going to use as pebble stones to walk on. Even though I know fairies will fly, but why not? These are just such pretty rocks. One more. There, in case they have friends visiting or whatever. I've got the nice little pebbles for them to walk on from the front door. Move these over a little bit. I think that looks gorgeous. But, you know, hey, that's me. Once this cures, we'll come back to it. And I got to clean that off there. That don't look good. And I'll put some more flowers. I can't forget to put the flowers on it. And some leaves. See, that's what you do. When it's messed up somewhere, you just take it and wipe it off. I forgot, we got to put flowers and leaves. Let's see. Make a little leaf pile right here. Put a flower coming up out of there. That's pretty. Wonder if this will work. Put some real pretty flowers around the little lights that I'm going to put in so it'll distract from the bottom of it. I just got all these little doodads off of Temu, which is all you do is just search whatever you're looking for. There's so much stuff here, I'm not going to be able to list everything. So if there's anything in particular you want, I will gladly list it for you. I'll gladly look it up for you. I know fairies love flowers. no matter what time of year it is. They love colorful stuff. At least that's what I've been taught. Okay, let's go ahead and just kind of sprinkle some leaves all over the place. These will seep into the ground or into the resin. Trying to strategically put a few here and there that I know that needs it, but it doesn't always work. That's like this one here needs to come over here. There we go. Separate them a little bit. There we go. Okay, I will be back to you when this is done with pictures. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back to you with pictures so you can see the final results. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to buy me a coffee, and bye for now.